Hi, Kevin Coop here, and this is FaceTime with the Content Guy for the week of August 12th, 2013. I admire Chutzpah. I always have. I've also written a lot over the years about how much I like the notion of subscription programs from either retailers or manufacturers. I think they're a great way to sort of lock consumers in for a product or service that you happen to offer over a long period of time. It's basically automatic replenishment for consumers. I think they make an awful lot of sense. Listen, Amazon's done it to great success with its Subscribe and Save program. I've written here over the years about how I probably use a dozen or so categories I buy from Amazon's Subscribe and Save program. They're often cheaper, but not always, and that doesn't really matter. I'm really into it for the convenience. They're categories I just don't have to think about. And let's see, there's other places in which I use subscriptions. Coffee from Starbucks, I got a subscription, shows up every month. Underwear, too much information, I've written about it before, but I get a shipment of fresh underwear once a year, don't even have to think about it, makes my wife very happy. Let's see, what else? Haircuts, I have a haircut subscription, sort of. I pay a fee on a monthly basis, I can go in as often as I need to go in and get a haircut. Let's see, Netflix subscription, right? And basically, I would argue that it's the Netflix subscription model that basically sank the Blockbuster ship, right? Because they lock people in with those little red envelopes, and now the model continues to evolve. Well, from California, there is news of yet another subscription model. And let me tell you, the guy who invented this, he's got chutzpah. It's basically a guy named, Wade Irely. He has started a business called Surf Air. And basically, according to the New York Times story, Surf Air is sort of like Netflix for air travel. You pay an initial membership fee of $500. You pay a monthly fee of $1,650, and you can fly as often as you want to specific locations on 6-seat single-engine turboprops. That's it. Never have to pay another fee. Now, in the New York Times story about this particular business model, they say that Surf Air started flying in June with service between smaller airports in Burbank, California, and San Carlos near Palo Alto, tapping into those who do business between Hollywood and Silicon Valley, and would prefer to do so without the headaches of major airports. It added service last month to Santa Barbara and is considering additional destinations by the end of the year. Now, the New York Times goes on to say that it's not hard to see the lure when members arrive and depart from Burbank. It's possible to pull into the small parking lot outside the Atlantic Terminal, which is separate from the main terminal, walk a few dozen steps to the lobby, grab a snack from the concierge cart, and then walk out on the tarmac to board the plane. No tickets, no lines, no body scans. A valet parks your car. Sounds wonderful, doesn't it? Now, they say that this is a pitch to certain kinds of decision makers, small business CEOs, the bottom half of the 1%, those who have not yet made their fortune but are intent on making their mark. And, they see this as being a great way for people to pull people together and network and use these flights as kind of incubators for other business decisions. Now, I got to tell you, as somebody who spends an awful lot of time in the air during the year, it is not hard for me to see the advantage and the attraction of this sort of business model, although I have to tell you, I'm not in any sort of position yet where I could be investing in it. I am not in the any percentage part of the 1%, unfortunately. Now, I can see the attraction. I have no idea if the business model makes sense. I simply don't know. On the other hand, I do not want to be the old fart who says, this will never work, because the minute you say that, that's when it works and you feel like a real old fart. Irely says that one of the advantages of this business model is he'll know real quickly whether or not it works. 12 to 18 months, he says. If it doesn't work in 18 months, it'll be time to shut it down and to move on to something else. And listen, in a lot of ways, that's the very model of a 2013 business, right? You have a great idea, you get some funding, you start it up, and if it doesn't work, you do as Jimmy Buffett once sang, breathe in, breathe out, move on. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this Thursday morning, and as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.